Hey everybody, it's Sonjdradeluxe. I'm back and today I'm showing you how to get this ice blue wig styling session using the watercolor method. I mean, this didn't really go the way I planned, but sometimes just following a tutorial isn't as easy as the video looks. So I wanted to share with you my trials and tribulations with this and show you how I dyed my wig this color. So I started off with this blonde wig from Tresses by Sandrine. I really like her wigs. She does full lace wigs, which I will explain why I wear full lace later on. It kind of has these auburn roots and, as you can see, a middle part. I'm not going to really fuss with the roots because I know that blue and orange kind of cancel each other out, so I'm expecting that the roots will just kind of go a darker color. I don't have to worry about that too much. I like to wear wigs with roots just because I have the side of my head shaved and I feel that it looks more natural when I have my shaved side showing. I always like to sew a band if it doesn't already have one in the bottom, as you can see, and to kind of protect the lace because I don't want it to go blue, I'm going to take some of this Lush R&B hair moisturizer. It smells so bomb. I use it on my real hair before I braid it down, and I'm just going to cover the areas of the lace as I'm putting the moisturizer just on the cap. I wish I just put it all on the inside of the cap because I'm not going to wear it as a middle part, so there's no point of me putting it just on the middle part. I got this bin here and I'm going to fill it with hot water. I put a tiny bit of hot water in the bottom just for my tap and then boiling water in just so it didn't melt the plastic. And then I'm going to do 1 part boiling water, 2 parts hot water, just because I didn't want the plastic to melt. I'm going to use the Arctic Fox hair color in Aquamarine. You could definitely tell I'm not a hair person because I'm doing this out of an old yogurt tin. I'm using the Aquamarine, which I think is what got me that teal color. I was looking for more like a smoky blue. I probably should have just stuck with the periwinkle, but I thought that the Aquamarine would give me a brighter blue. I think just the periwinkle on its own would have given me that color because the wig is so light already. Mixing it with a chopstick from Takeout. And what I realized when doing this is I wanted to add a little bit of water into the mixing jar just so it mixes a little bit better, because as you can see I poured it in and it kind of went chunky. Then I moved on and got a whisk from my kitchen and started to whisk it because I didn't want the chunks to make blotches of dark color on my wig. So I'm just mixing it quite aggressively to try and get all those chunks out. I think when you're dyeing a hair that's blonde, you should go a little bit cooler tone than what the blonde is. So even though it's quite silver, it does have a touch of a yellow color in it. So I probably should have gone a little aggressive with the violet and the periwinkle color and not at all the aquamarine, because that'll pull the greens out from the kind of yellow in the wig. So this is another thing that I think I made a mistake on, is I dipped the ends in first without fully committing to putting the whole thing in, because I was just so wowed at how quickly the hair color dyed, and I'm just pushing it in with my whisk. And I think I probably next time would put it in with the top of the wig first so it grabs the color. I feel like what happens, because it's porous and it's dry, it kind of grabs onto the ends a little bit more, and I noticed that it wasn't taking as well on the top part, maybe because the bottom of the wig had absorbed most of the color from the water. The color of the water has changed, like you can really see that the pigments have absorbed into the wig, which I think is a good thing, but I let it sit there for maybe like 2 minutes because I was just trying to get it even. I noticed it wasn't taking as well in the back and underneath, so definitely would do it in the opposite way and just plunge it in all at once. My goal is to try and do another coloring video, but do it better and do it properly. Also, you want to make sure that you have a clean wig. I said one time I went out with my friend and she wore the wig out with me, so I don't know if she put hairspray on it or something at the top, but it didn't take as well, so it might help to do a clarifying shampoo treatment. I try to be easy on my wigs and not strip them as much, just so that they stay silky longer. This is me going in with the periwinkle again, trying to make that color a little less teal, but I think it doesn't work as well on a wet wig. I think the wig has to be dry in order for it to absorb the color, like almost as if each hair strand is porous and a sponge. The lighter the hair is, the more porous it is. I think that because it's already wet, it can't be like a sponge and absorb it. So as you can see, that the color of the water has changed and mostly the aquamarine color has absorbed. The blue has kind of been left behind a little bit. So actual pigment particles, blue is the biggest and is the hardest to absorb and the quickest to disappear, and red is the smallest. So that's why people have shampoos with violet in it or blue to kind of take the brassiness or yellowness out of blondes and lighter colors, because it washes out the fastest, if that makes sense, hopefully. Anyways, this is what it looks like after I shampooed it. I gave it a good conditioning, and as you can see, the roots have neutralized to kind of a smoky gray color, which I think is really pretty, but it did not take it quite as well in the center. I put it on this head, and this little stand I got from Amazon, it might fall off because it's freaking trash. This is kind of how I part my hair on the side here. This originally had a middle part, but I'm just going to make it so that I can wear it with the side of my head shaved. So I'm just like giving it a little comb over, and that's how I want to kind of blow dry it to train the hair. Also, I'm going to put a little bit of these silk drops in it. I also got at Sally's, just because wigs be getting crispy, especially when they're freaking blonde. They've been bleached so crazily. So with my hands, I'm just going to run it through all over while it's still wet. Usually I use argan oil, but I don't feel like it's like strong enough for wigs, you know? So anyways, I'm trying this. Long story short, make sure I get a lot in there. You'll give it a nice comb in the direction, trying to make this hair grow. So I just wanted to show you how I do the top part, because I always get lots of questions on it. I think this color is gonna be freaking tight. Okay, so I'm actually just blow drying it in the direction that I want the hair to sit. This is just a side part. You might want to put it on first and see where you want to part it. And then I just want to blow dry it down using the mannequin head, because it is a lot easier than drying it on my head. And I'm keeping the angle of the blow dryer down because I don't want any little flyaways. And I'm giving it a comb with a blow drying brush. And I'm kind of brushing it back where I want to tuck it behind my ear, and then keeping it a little bit more lifted and tossed to the other side on the top. But this is basically just going to train the hair to stay in the position that I want, instead of having it in its original middle part. And I want to keep it nice and smooth, so I'm using my fingers and I'm kind of scrunching it at the roots a little bit. I don't want it too flat, but I definitely want to keep those little flyaways at bay. I wanted to kind of be able to like flip up here too, so I'm just like making sure I don't slick it all the way down. Give it some volume, you feel me? This is taking a long time to blow dry, so I'm just continuing to blow dry it in this method. So I put the wig on because I want to finish drying it. And I'm finishing it on my head because I didn't think you guys wanted to sit there and watch me blow dry it for 6 years. But now that it's on my head, I want to try and keep that area flipped up in case I wanted to flip it. I low-key wish I just cut the lace off and not, you know, I think that'll make it a little bit easier to make it less detectable, but it is what it is. I never did a hair video before, and I've tried my best. But this is pretty much how I style it. I don't like a hard parting when I have the side of my head shaved, just because I feel like when there's a parting, I have to pull the wig down too far, and if it slips up, it looks crazy. So I did it that way, keeping it a rough parting. Okay, so it's pretty much styled in the direction that I want it to be in, and I think it's dry. I'm just gonna run a straightening iron through it, but this is how I just like to lay it down. But I just adjust it to where it needs to be. I need to touch up my makeup, but anywho, see what it looks like after. Okay, so got it hopefully all dry, and I'm just gonna do a little straightening. Wish me luck. Sometimes when you use a flat iron on stuff, it can like change the color, but I don't mind because this is not really what I was planning to do. It's hard because I don't have a mirror. Because I usually just take like a bit of a section and I run it through like this. But this hair is not really like obviously curly or anything, so this is like kind of a quick way to straighten it. I feel like there's an easier way. I'm just mumbling. We found a hair tie. So I'm just gonna section off a bit, like that. Little ponytail, like that. I like to make sure the roots are straight just so it like lays flat, you know what I mean? I've just totally took over my whole freaking kitchen. This weave is pretty well new, except for one time I let my homegirl wear it out. But maybe that's why it's a little bit patchy too, because maybe she put product in it or something, or product left over from when I bought it, or just because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. All good reasons. And I honestly just have my wig on normally. I just like pull this part back. That's it. Okay, hopefully it's cute. Okay, cool. Oh, did we get it all? Let's see, did we get you? I think so. Let's do the side here. And tie this fellow back up. That looks so bright. This will most definitely scrub through because I couldn't imagine anything more boring than watching someone straighten their hair in silence. Just feeling like playing around with hair colors more. And I saw Rosh has been like fully making wigs from scratch. I used to wear wigs that were not full lace, that were sew-ins, because I have like both the sides of my head shaved and I have very fine hair. It's just too heavy to have, oh shit son, I'm gonna do a little repair. It's just too much weight to have the length and the thickness that I want on my hair, and it was pulling my hair out before my real hair when I would sew it in. So I went with full lace because they're more lightweight and I could always add a track to the lace if I want it more thick so it doesn't have to be so heavy. This is such a look. I'm just living right now. This is why I don't be doing hair tutorials, because I'm not a hairdresser. But anyways, back to what I was saying. You should see Rosh do her full wig transformations because they're freaking amazing. She does beautiful, beautiful wigs. I'm like, you want to sell me one of those? When you order a custom color, it takes for freaking ever. Like, it already takes long enough as it is to get this stupid wig. So I feel like I'm gonna try and see if I can dye it myself and just like order them in bulk, like order a few different ones so that I can play around with the color myself. Any stressful times with wigs. And that's, I think, why Rosh started making her own wigs too, because they're so freaking expensive. They take forever. I've waited months for wigs. Or maybe it's a little wet up here still. It's okay, whatever. We're doing our best. Hopefully it looks cute after though. Yeah, let's get this nice and straight. So this is unfortunately where my audio kind of went out. I don't know what's going on with my mic, but time to replace it. I'm taking my nose contour color because it's not as warm as my regular bronzer, and I'm just going along the lace to help blend it and make it more my skin tone. And I'm just kind of dragging it on the lace part, which you could just easily cut off. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I really like the hairline that Tresses by Sonjdradeluxe does, so that's why I left it. So this is the final product. I freshened up my makeup. I used the AHHH Prism palette and just wanted to do something simple. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm hoping to use this as a place to look back on. I think sometimes you have to just roll with it and try it out. But it was really fun, and I think I want to start including hair, and I know I had some questions about how I style my hair. So thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to share, subscribe, and follow. Love yourself, stay pretty, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Take care.